On check 2, ready when you are.
Mic check, mic check. Okay, cool.
Chief Meteorologist Joel Barnes here, just with a quick update on the storm situation. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning, which does include the Paris area. If you know anyone that's on the Kentucky Lake, I know we got the Music Fest and fun stuff going on up there here this weekend. They need to get off the water for a little bit, at least for another hour or two till the storms pass. 77 right now in Paris, downtown Jackson. If you look up to the north, it's pretty dark as well. 87 now. We had a heat index close to 100 degrees here in Jackson and some storms that blew through. We're still trying to find out if this was from wind damage or if there was something else involved in this, but this was on McKellen Road here in Jackson. You notice a lot of power poles, at least looks like 4 to 5 of them were knocked down. So we're going to find out more on that. We'll have a report coming up tonight at 5. Tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. As far as what we can expect tonight, we're all under a level 2, but our main concern is going to be, I think, northeast of Jackson over the next couple of hours. Probably about the time the sun goes down, we're going to see our severe threat wrap up. And Saturday's threat, that actually is going to include all of us, but that's going to be a morning and early afternoon event. There's a look at the heat index. It is hot, it is humid, so those showers are helping to cool things down, but you obviously don't want a thunderstorm. So here's our final push here, I think, of this afternoon for severe weather. So it looks like we got about an hour left. We do have one severe thunderstorm warning up north, does include the Paris area. Up to 60-mile-an-hour winds are possible with this storm. Notice it's got a lot of lightning. The severe thunderstorm warning's out till 4:45. So this looks like it is going to impact right over the Kentucky Lake area. So again, you know, people on the lake, the worst of it may stay just north of where the music festival is, but it's going to be real close to the Paris Landing State Park area as well. We do got a little bit of a tail showing up here, so we're watching this for some possible rotation. Can't 100% rule out a spin-up tornado there. You notice there's a little bit of green showing up on the radar, so we're watching this closely with the National Weather Service. We've got several different radars that we're looking at this storm as it comes on by. For some, if it does try to spin up and produce a tornado. We got a little cluster of weak thunderstorms into Carroll County as well. One did go through the Humboldt area about 20 minutes ago. So we do got these little ones. We're watching these. Any of these may try to spin up, produce some hail or a brief tornado as well. So here's our area we need to watch. So if you're watching us in Camden, pretty much right along the interstate northward up into the border. This is our area of severe concern over the next hour. So we're going to watch things closely. You notice behind it, things are pretty quiet tonight. So if we zoom things out here, you notice here's our storm activity. It's all moving here. It's pretty quiet back here. So looks like we're going to be pretty good for the remainder of the evening once these afternoon storms move on out. Futurecast thinks the same thing. It's got these storms moving on out by 5, 6 o'clock. Some may try to linger a little bit longer southeast of Jackson, but those probably are not going to be severe. But we'll see about that. They could hang around until 7, 8 o'clock, maybe into Hardin County. Saturday will start out dry when the sun comes up, but as the morning progresses, here comes another chance for some thunderstorms into the morning. Some of this could be severe, so we need to watch things closely. It's rare to get severe thunderstorms between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m., but that could be possible tomorrow. So we're going to have to watch Saturday. And then it looks like Saturday evening is going to be pretty good for Saturday evening events here across West Tennessee. We're going to go back and take a look one more time at that storm that we were watching up to the north that has the severe thunderstorm warning tag on it. Just to check on the rotation of that here real quick. And we'll take a look at it from our exclusive look at our Camden radar here in a second. So again, a lot of lightning. It looks like there could even be a hail core now showing up right there near Cottage Grove. That popped up within the last couple of scans. So there's a chance for some hail with that. Actually, I think there's more than a chance. I think that's hail right there, right now near Cottage Grove. That we'll see if we can get some other communities to pop up. Foundry Hill, you got some hail on the way, 641. Maybe Peoria are going to get in on that hail act, maybe Whitlock as well. So definitely some hail showing up with that storm. And you notice it kind of just popped up within the last couple of scans, that hail core. So it looks like Whitlock is probably going to get some between Foundry Hill and Whitlock, right along 641. There's some hail on the way. So if it continues that general direction, looks like it could be making right there on the river. You notice near the Moons area, there could be some hail real close to Paris Landing. So again, if you know people that are out there celebrating that have their boats in the water on Paris Landing, they need to get out of there immediately because they probably only got, maybe 10, 15 more minutes. So again, if you know anyone out there, get off the lake. There's also a little bit of rotation that we are watching with this. Not enough to issue a tornado warning, but enough that we need to continue to keep an eye on it. All right, we're going to continue to track this storm here. We'll have our live feed up. We'll continue to watch the radar. If something exciting pops up, like we are going to get a tornado warning, or if this storm looks like it's going to start producing anything more than what we're looking at now. All right, so they just gave they're saying there could be up to ping pong size hail in that area, and some rotation. So we're going to watch that storm closely. Keep an eye on our Facebook Live here. If the storm gets stronger, we'll break back in and give you an update on it. But right now, again, if you know anyone that's on the lake, so kind of draw a timing here of when the worst of it looks like it could be approaching some communities like Paris Landing around 4:35, Elkhorn 4:28, Paris 4:19, Puryear 4:20. So that's when this storm will be coming on by, up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. And again, it looks like definitely some hail has shown up in the last couple of scans near Cottage Grove. So it's probably hail right now just a couple miles north. So about 1 mile north of northeast of Cottage Grove, it looks like there is some hail that has shown up. So again, do one little tracker on the hail. See if we can get some smaller little areas to show up. All right, so there's where we think there could be some hail coming into Blake School. If you live next to the community of Christ, Foundry Hill Church, the old Antioch Church in that area, Whitlock, probably got some hail on the way. So if you can get your car in the garage, immediately do it. But you may not want to be out there, as it looks like the lightning has even begun to uptick as well. So there's a look, about 80 lightning strikes with that storm as it moves through. We'll stick around just for one more radar scan here with this. Meteorologist Jordan Hubbard is with me as well. Why don't we get a quick update with Jordan on Max 2, just with what he's seeing within the storm, and I'll set things up and get back to Max 1 again. Jordan, go ahead.
All right, so the storm has come down quite a bit since the last scan. We'll pull it up real quick and take you back about 5 minutes when we got the last scan. You see right there northeast of Jewel is a little bit tighter, colors are a little bit brighter, but since then, in the last 5 minutes or so, the newest scan, not only have the colors dimmed a little bit, it's also much broader and now to the south of Cottage Grove. So this severe thunderstorm warning is not tagged for the possible tornado. The only update when they trimmed portions of Weakley County out of the warning was for that ping pong ball sized hail threshold there, which we just got a new scan as it's moving closer to Foundry Hill. That large hail core has come down in size quite a bit. It's we'll get a ruler on that real quick, and it's about 3 miles west-southwest of Foundry Hill, and we could, again, ping pong sized hail possible. So if you're in the northern, probably northern 2/3 of Henry County, if you're north of Paris on Highway 641 or 7079, would definitely recommend heading indoors as soon as possible. If you're at the festival on the lake at Paris Landing, you definitely want to get off the water. This is coming in pretty quickly.
Yeah. All right. Back on. We'll switch back over to 1 here real quick. We'll do a radar tour again with this storm. So 2 different thunderstorms that are going to impact the Paris community, Paris Landing, Henry County, Benton County. Again, and I know a lot of people wanted to start the fun early this weekend, but anyone out on the Kentucky Lake has to get off immediately. Again, if you know anyone that's out there, maybe they don't have internet, give them a call, send them a text message, say there's a big storm coming. It's a dangerous storm. Could produce a tornado, could produce some large hail. and it definitely has some strong winds with it and a lot of lightning. So there's a look at that storm. Looks like it's going to be moving very close to the Paris Landing State Park. The worst of it may pass just to the north. But it's going to be close. So as Jordan said, that hail core did shrink a little bit. It's still there, but not as intense as it was a scan ago. But there's also some inflow notches trying to get going into this. This storm is trying to rotate as it moves over 641 near Foundry Hill. So again, we've got a little bit of rotation down near New Boston. So this is going to be very close, maybe a mile or two north of Paris is where that area of rotation is. Again, severe thunderstorm warning. Not a tornado warning right now. National Weather Service doesn't expect this to produce a tornado warning in the next 10 minutes or so, but that doesn't mean it won't. So we're going to watch things very closely for the next couple radar scans we get up north. We've also got this cluster of thunderstorms from McKinsey to Huntington. Most of this is going to stay north of 70, probably stay just north of Brewston with the worst of it, and a couple little scattered showers down here to the south. But all the main forcing forth severe weather tonight looks like it's northeast of Madison County up into this area, and it looks like we got about another hour of dealing with that, because if you look behind it, things are pretty quiet. Doesn't mean it won't stay that way the rest of the night. There still could be a little bit of development maybe south of the interstate over the next couple of hours, but I think when this clears on out, we're looking at some pretty quiet weather for the majority of the evening. One more look at the futurecast, because it is thinking there could be a few stragglers south of the interstate here between 5 and 8 o'clock. We'll see about those. Not a lot of confidence in those doing much as far as any sort of severe weather concerns. And then we've also got that threat coming on in, it looks like, into Saturday, into the morning and afternoon. So Jordan and I are going to continue to keep an eye on that thunderstorm. We'll have another update coming up here probably in about 15 minutes on that storm. So keep it here on our Facebook Live as we get ready for our news tonight at 5. Chief Meteorologist Joel Barnes here. It's around 4:33, 4:34 now. We're watching that thunderstorm as it's getting very close to the Kentucky Lake right now. Anyone on the lake needs to be off immediately. It is still a severe thunderstorm warning. The hail core has come down a little bit. Rotations minimized some, but it is still a dangerous storm, especially if you're going to be out on a boat on the river or lake. So it looks like if you're from Johnsonville all the way up to the Kentucky border, right along the Tennessee River and Kentucky Lake, there's pretty big storms on the way, producing very heavy rain. Looks like there's still some hail mixing on in, and that severe thunderstorm warning's out for about another 10 minutes. Deeper dive in here, that large hail core that went through the Whitlock area. We did have reports of up to half-dollar size hail actually from that storm as it did move through did move through earlier. So here's a look at the timing of when we're expecting it to come through. So here's Kentucky Lake. You can see it right here. So here's some of the communities, Moons there, Elkhorn. So right around 4:45, the worst of it I think is going to be coming very close to the Paris Landing State Park area. I know a lot of people are out there. We've got the music festival here this weekend, all the fun out on the lake, but take it easy, get off the lake. You know anyone there, call them, tell them. I'm sure they've seen the storm on the way now. But it will be dangerous to be in the water there. Still a tad bit of rotation in and around the Paris area, but if we zoom this out, you'll see that really has weakened some on the winds and weakened some on the rotation. But we're still going to watch that little area of rotation could drop down close to Springville and then crossing the river. There's also a storm we're watching north of Brewston heading into Camden, so it looks like you've got some heavy rain and a thunderstorm coming into the Camden area right now. So again, anywhere from Camden along the river, lake up to the north, it's going to get pretty rough here over the next 30 minutes. This storm should move on out of our area close to around 5 o'clock. And then I think that's when our severe weather threat's going to be wrapping on up for the most part. But we'll keep an eye on it just in case there's some more redevelopment tonight. But a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for about another 10 minutes. So as this storm system clears on out overnight, still could be a little bit of redevelopment along this boundary that's producing those thunderstorms tonight. Futurecast keeps it around a little later than I think. It's got some activity even as late as 7, 8 o'clock. Not sure about that. But we'll keep a close eye on it just in case it happens. And then Saturday morning, looks like we've got another round of storms coming on in. So you need to stay weather aware Saturday morning. The good news is, looks like most of Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening looking pretty good right now. Let's get a quick update with meteorologist Jordan Hubbard, who's taking a closer look at that storm as well on Max 2. Jordan, go ahead.
So again, good news is that it is come down quite a bit. It's undergoing cell merger, so a lot of these cells are forming into a cluster. And what that does is it really takes a lot of energy out of the storm for it to be able to do that. And if you're wondering why you haven't been cleared from the tornado watch yet, if you're in Weakley, Gibson, Carroll counties yet, even though the storm threat's apparently passed you, we'll pop on the infrared satellite, and any of these clouds that are showing up, they're light and they're tall enough that they could still support some convective development in the form of thunderstorms. So you see that stretches all the way down, almost all the way down to Selmer, if not just a little bit farther. But good news is things have been really struggling to get going, and when they do get going, they merge with other storms that are struggling to get going. So the whole thing is really struggling to get going. That northern, it's almost formed into a line segment of its own now, but it's still ingesting other cells. It's really struggling to pick up any steam because, well, it takes a lot of steam out of storms to ingest other storms. And we're actually getting an update from the Weather Service. They're going to allow both the severe thunderstorm warning for Henry and Benton County to expire at 4:45 and the special weather statement for Weakley and Henry to expire at 4:45 as well.
All right, that's some really good news there, Jordan. We'll go ahead and give you a quick recap, and then you can join us tonight at 5 for more. This is, I'm going to go ahead and pull up on Max 1. I'm going to try to pull up a camera here to show you what it looks like right now in Paris. That should be populating any second, so I know it's black, but it'll pop up. Give it a minute. So you notice the storm coming on down. A lot of rain, limited visibility, and this is all heading right over the Kentucky Lake area right now, 77 degrees. Jackson, it's pretty quiet. I think we're going to be mild for the remainder of the night at 87 degrees. But we had what we think is some thunderstorm wind damage. We didn't see anything on the radar showing winds that could do this, but we're going to have a report on this at 5. We've got a reporter there that headed out to the scene. This was off of McKellen Road in Jackson. You notice several power lines down, which could have been related to that thunderstorm that came by earlier. But all the damage reports are just kind of in that one little area. Tornado watch out till 8 p.m. We'll continue to see a chance for a couple of these storms to develop tonight. Still do have a 5% chance for your county to have a tornado tonight if you're in that area to the northeast of Jackson. So we're still going to watch things closely. Saturday's risk is lower on the tornadoes, but Saturday morning there still could be some hail and gusty winds on the way. It is hot and humid. We had a heat index up to around 100 earlier in Jackson. Still feels about 97 right now. None of this down south is doing much, but there is some activity, so we're going to watch that as well over the next couple of hours. But the main forcing for severe weather tonight is up here from Camden, Big Sandy, up to the river. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning will expire here in about 5 minutes at 4:45. Looks like the hail core has really kind of diminished there, but this is still heavy rain, maybe some small hail and pretty strong winds. And you notice impacting Kentucky Lake, Paris Landing, where we got the music festival going on and the fun on the lake. Hopefully everyone's off of it for right now. You can go back out here in an hour or two, but you need to stay off the lake right now, both forks. There's a little bit of rotation still between Paris and Sunnyside. That has minimized, but watch there was definitely some rotation between Cottage Grove and Paris. We picked up to $half size hail reported in and around Cottage Grove, and there was definitely rotation. We were watching it, but you notice those bright colors, they're kind of gone now, but there's still a little bit of rotation heading down near Springville. So we still got to watch that storm tonight. We've got a couple little weaker ones in and around Camden and Brewston, producing some heavy rain and a little bit of lightning there. So as this storm activity clears on out, probably after 5 o'clock, it looks like our severe weather threat for now is going away, but we'll still watch anything that could develop into this area as the atmosphere is still pretty set up to produce some bigger thunderstorms tonight. But keep it here on WBBJ. We'll have a full report on that storm damage in Jackson, plus we'll be tracking everything else on the radar coming up. So we'll see you here in about 20 minutes on TV.